Sorry if you can't hear me over the thing I got in my throat, but saying that now kind of pales in comparison to what this family may have went through. Alright, The Possession, not to be confused with Possession or Possession. There's a lot of titles I found out after looking online that have the just title Possession. This one comes to us as an exorcism, basically just like all the other exorcisms, though this one is Hebrew. Though I have to say that's not the only spin that they put on this, and I say spin because yes, they do tip their hat to the old movies and the heritage that is what's come of these type of movies and these flicks, right down to the white robe, and I think everyone's seen that in the trailer and realizes that. But if you don't, there's other ones, there's other recognizable pieces and characteristics that happen in this movie that kind of say thank you to the other movies of past. That said, they don't overdo it, and they don't think that that has to be the exact movie. They're not replicating Exorcism at all, but they do actually put together a really decent story. It's still somewhat similar to what you're expecting in an Exorcism movie, and it kind of goes off from that and starts to pile itself up and make something decent of this flick by the end of it. Because to be honest, when I went in, I started watching the movie for the first so much, and I thought, okay, this isn't going to get much more than like a 2. And I don't see it doing anything different than a regular horror or a regular exorcism movie. But at one point, it kind of switches itself, gives itself a little bit more amp, and you actually feel like this is a really good movie, and you're actually intrigued and thrilled by what's going on. So obviously, yes, I do believe that this is still a thriller and a horror all in one. And I can say that because they're not there necessarily to scare you like a regular horror does. They do throw noise in this movie and try and make you startle more or less on the inside. It's not something you're going to scream and yell and be frantically scared about like in a regular horror movie. It's something that's going to just stick with you for the ride of the movie, and by the end you will maybe scream here or there by the last so much of the movie. So it builds up, and in that sense I feel like this is a thriller because it's building up a suspense to the end of the movie and then gives you what you're either coming to expect or not. So that said about the noise and everything, perhaps it's not a DVD buy, it's more of a theater experience. The amount of sound and what they can put into the theater may be better, and I say maybe, than what you have at home. So obviously I'm this far and I haven't really talked about story, and basically we kind of know the story. If you've seen the trailer, you know the story. The same exorcism type story where a family member is possessed and another family member wants to do what they can to help this person and do an exorcism in order to expel the demon. They throw a little twist more modern in here. There's a divorced family and they're trying to struggle, and they can see the problems with the child, and they're just associating that with the divorce that's just happened just recently. So it gets a little bit more of a modern spin, and in that sense I think kind of imbues itself in you a little bit more to be thrilled throughout the ride. So let's go off on actors. The only one I actually recognize here is Jeffery Dean Morgan, and he does an amazing job. I really think he gets a couple more really good performances like this in some of his other movies. I'm going to be calling him next to like Liam Neeson almost, because I think this guy is really good at acting. That said, in this movie he does a really good job. You believe him as the father, and the hardship that he's going through. It's just something that he has in him that you can see it. It's believable just by watching him, which is something that really good actors are able to do, and we don't have that many of those these days with Kirsten Stewart and whatnot. So the mother, I really detested her in this movie, and I really feel like she should go back to another world. Basically, I've seen her in a lot of performances and I haven't liked her yet. She really shows off this like soap opera type performance, and it bothers me so much that I just can't watch her. So for that reason, really wish they would have recasted her and gave somebody else to this, and I would have liked it even that much more. However, they didn't. The children in this movie, they do actually really good performance as well, especially the younger one. The youngest one is the one that ends up getting in trouble with all this demon stuff. So she actually does a really good performance, I feel, for someone of her age especially, and someone that's able to carry what they need her to do in this movie as far as scaring people and as far as making people believe that she's just an innocent girl. However, when she was possessed, that she kind of did a move that was done by Scarlett Johansson in Iron Man. Yeah, that one. really, is Scarlett Johansson the possessed? Because really, wait, really, what kind of name is Scarlett anyways? Rating time. Okay, so like I said at the beginning, I would have gave this one a 2 until so far in, and then it dropped all its heritage lineage and then decided to run with something different, more modern. I'm going to give this one a 3 out of 5 Scarlet Fevers. On to the next review. Alright, for those of you who are horror fans and watching these reviews, realize the tag's not here, and it's understandable. I've come to realize it is understandable. Because basically all horror movies have just gone in the last couple decades. It's just the same thing over and over, and it's regurgitated time and time again. So, what Tack and I are working on right now is a horror checklist, one that kind of stands the test of time, and we will use it to gauge whether or not these movies are any good. The checklist will include the basic things that happen in every horror, such as female cast falls upstairs, or falls running away from untold monster. These are things that we're going to add to this checklist. We're going to add a few extra ones. If you can think of extra things that happen in just your everyday horror, comment below, let us know, and we will add it to our checklist if we haven't already. So on to the next review, and I'll see you at the next horror.